Hello, friend Mormo here. Today I'm reviewing the movie Will Work for Views, the director's cut. It's the story of Weird Paul. And I think that Weird Paul is somebody I was introduced to from Nick Katsaurus, the guy who does Tin Can Media. And he's had all kinds of podcasts, and I think he interviewed Weird Paul on one of his podcasts. And when Nick interviews somebody, he usually promotes them on social media. So I gave Weird Paul's Facebook fan page a like, and I watched several of his videos on Facebook, and they were really cool videos talking about like stuff he found at thrift stores. But he's also a musician, and I've seen a few of his music videos, and they're great. And he's a really interesting guy who's been doing videos all of his life, like in the 80s and stuff. He had a camcorder and was making videos on VHS tape. And he saved everything from his childhood, all of his notebooks and his cassette tapes and his VHS tapes and everything. And so when YouTube became a thing and the internet became a thing, then he started uploading all of his old content to YouTube and doing new commentaries and talking about his childhood and everything and what was going on when he was making the videos. And he's a prolific musician. He's recorded a lot of albums over his life, and he's got a pretty successful YouTube channel now. I think he has like 38,000 followers or something, or subscribers. And he just makes a variety of content of like music videos, and then uploading the stuff from the 80s, and then, like I say, his thrift store scores. And then this movie showed behind the scenes of his life, and he's got this kind of like rundown house that he always has to do upkeep on, and he works at the mall, and he's in the same position as me where he wants to be able to support himself through his art and stuff, like me, who I want to support myself through the movies I make and my membership program and everything. He's on Patreon, and I think he's making like $335 a month on Patreon. And they didn't really get into how much he makes off of ad revenue, so I'm not sure how much he makes on YouTube. But it was a really good story, just talking about his life and what he's done with it. And I always find these kind of stories real inspiring, about people who just continue to do their art even though they don't find mainstream success really, but they just continue to pursue their art. It kind of reminded me of that documentary I saw about the guy who had the brain injury, and he played with like dolls and stuff, and like had this whole world of these little dolls he would play with. It was kind of, and he was a photographer. This movie reminded me a lot of that movie, and I really enjoyed that movie. Like I say, I just find this stuff really inspiring when it talks about people who do art and just struggle and stuff, and but they stick with it. I think it's really cool. And I've found that I had a lot in common with Paul, but I also am different in a lot of ways. Like I didn't get a video camera until I was in my 20s, I think. And I didn't really save a lot of stuff from my childhood. And then he remembers his whole life, and like my life is kind of a blur, and I don't really remember most of it. But but we're both doing YouTube and we're trying to make a living out of making videos and stuff. And it's a real inspiring story. It was free on Amazon Prime. I recommend you check it out and check out Weird Paul's channel. Just search Weird Paul on YouTube and you can find him and check out some of his videos and stuff. His thrift store videos are really good and his music videos are really good and like the 80s videos that he uploads are really good and he just seems like a really cool guy and I really like his videos. I really like this movie they made about him and so definitely check it out and be sure and check out my website. I have to do this every stinking time. Just a second. I'll put my website on the screen and I'll put a link in the description too so you can get on my mailing list and so go to mormozine.com. Get on my mailing list. You'll get a link. If you submit your email, you'll get a link to where you can watch like probably my favorite movie I've ever made. And it'll help you with your online business. And be sure and comment, thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, share because sharing is caring, and click the link in the description to visit my website, mormozine.com. And thanks so much.